Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I've moved again. The house is quiet. There's no one at home, so I've come back to this room. Now we are working on a better backdrop in the other room because it's just a lot easier to film from there. But anyway, today's video is going back to why I actually started this YouTube channel, and that is to be able to provide you guys with actionable changes that you can start implementing into your lives straight away. I'll be going over 5 daily wins that every Sikh should be completing within their days without fail. Now a lot of you have probably seen there's a bit of a trend with like daily wins where people showcase 3 daily wins that you can do into your lives, and I thought, you know what, that's actually a really good idea. It's a really good way to frame it, but how can we make them more Sikhi orientated? And before we get into this video, I think we all need to remember that the Khalsa wasn't built by people just sitting around. The army of Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj wasn't built off of some miracle. It wasn't built purely off of this thing that we have now, Kirpa. Kirpa is a big part of it. Getting the blessings of Maharaj is a big part of it. But you actually have to do things for things to happen. You know, we're not like other religions where we just sit around and wait. The Khalsa was built by high quality individuals who basically mastered themselves before they went out and tried to master the world. Our Panth doesn't need more numbers, it just needs higher quality. We all are enough if we're of a high standard, of a high quality. So the aim here is to be the best version of yourself. So let's get straight into this video with win number 1, and that is the one you guys probably could have guessed, and that is a spiritual win. But I'm not going to tell you what the right spiritual win is. Everyone should be able to think for themselves what is one thing that they can implement into their lives that they will do every single day without fail. Now for those who have taken Amrit, you already know Nitnem, Rera, Kirtan Sohila, Naam Jap, around 2.5 hours of your day should be given to the Guru. This is without fail. You decided to take Amrit, so you've got to be able to uphold it. But for everyone else coming into Sikhi, just pick something easy. You know, 5 to 10 minutes a day to start with. That could be Naam Jap, sitting down and meditating. It could be listening to Nitnem, listening to Kirtan, listening to Katha, anything. But do it for a period of time that you can consistently do. So for example, let's take Kirtan. Let's say you've woken up 10 to 15 minutes earlier than you normally would, and before work, you've now decided that I'm gonna sit down in my room and purely listen to Kirtan for 10 to 15 minutes. Now that habit will compound. You can start building onto that habit. You're going to start enjoying listening to Kirtan. And the spiritual win is one that you don't see results for physically. It's all up in your brain. It's all mental changes that will start happening over time, which is why it can get a little bit frustrating. For example, a physical win like going to the gym, after 6 to 7 months of being consistent, you will start seeing your body change. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're going to see abs, you're going to see bigger biceps. But with the spiritual win, you're not going to see a bigger brain, or you're not going to see your brain developing itself and connecting more with the creator. It's just one of those things that you won't see, you'll feel, which is why it can get a bit frustrating when you don't actually see the results. But you just have to stick to it. So whether it's Kirtan for 10 to 15 minutes or listening to Katha or doing Naam Jap, eventually over time you're going to start increasing how long you're doing it for. So where it was 10 to 15 minutes, it might become half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, and then you're on your way. So by connecting to the creator first thing in the morning, last thing before bed, during the day, it really grounds your day, it grounds your mind, it keeps you focused on what you have to do, and therefore makes the rest of the wins a lot easier. So a lot of you have probably guessed what the second win is, and that is a physical win. Just get off your arse and start training. You know, we're coming up with way too many excuses. We are not a normal religion. We're not even a religion. Khalsa, Akal Purkh ki Fauj. We're the army of Akal Purkh, of God, of the Creator. So for us to simply say, oh, I'm feeling tired today. Imagine if your shaheeds said something like that. And they had people chasing them with naked kirpana trying to take their heads off. They did not have the time to be tired, whereas we do. You know, most of us work 9 to 5. We've got normal jobs. But we want to come home, sit down on the sofa, watch a bit of Netflix, eat a bit of food, and basically relax. It's not good enough. Not for us. And I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. Every Singh and Singhni should be training. If you're physically weak, you're basically a liability to the Panth. Because if there was a jung tomorrow and the Panth has to then rely on you and you're not physically fit, you've become a liability to the whole Khalsa Panth. And that, quite frankly, isn't good enough for the Khalsa. We've got a very high standard to uphold. So rooting our training in the fact that we're the Khalsa should be enough. But for those, again, who are coming into Sikhi, that is something that you have to remember. When you do eventually take Amrit, you're giving your head to the Guru. It's no longer your choice. It's the choice of the Guru. It's what the Guru wants you to do. And in this case, the Guru does want you to train. The Khalsa has always trained. Like I said, they were being chased by people with naked kirpana looking to take their heads off. And it could be as simple as going out for a walk, get your stamina up, going out for a run. You don't need a fancy gym membership. The world is your treadmill. And for those who are lucky to have a gym membership and can afford it, that is a privilege. You're in a privileged position to be able to go to the gym. And the same applies to those who are in martial arts and those who are in a little bit more niche areas like shooting or archery. It's a privilege, so you should be able to uphold it. You need to train like the Khalsa depends on it, not your life. The Khalsa depends on your training. Now, keeping the same energy, let's speak about win number 3, and that is a mental win, and more specifically, reading, journaling, and reflection. The Panth has always been intellectually sovereign. We've got our own resources. We don't need to go elsewhere, because it's very important that you're in charge of what goes into your mind, because whatever goes into your mind will then control your thoughts. So it's important that we focus on what content we're consuming. Now, we're obviously living in an age where short format content is everywhere. You know, I'm definitely guilty of just mindlessly scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. And it's actually having a negative effect on my brain because I'm consuming things that I don't need to consume. And in doing so, I'm actually decreasing my attention span. So when it comes to then listening to things of value, which take a lot longer to explain, I'm not able to focus for as much time. So it's having multiple negative effects on myself. You could be reading a novel, you could be reading a book that is outside of the Sikh space, you could be reading books that are related to Sikhi. But whatever you do, knowledge is power. That just means there's more knowledge in the Panth. You can teach the Panth whatever you've learned and improve the quality of the Panth. So having some form of mental win, again, it doesn't need to be for a long period of time. It could just start off from 5 to 10 minutes and slowly, again, grow the time as you get better at it. But it's something that we should all be engaging in. And if anyone needs help on how to get started on this, I've already made a video on how to study Sikhi and how to stop blindly worshipping, which ties in very nicely to this mental win. So that could be a place where you can get started from. And win number 4 is having some sort of creative win. Let's just have a look at our history. We've got so many poets. You look at our Gurdwara, so beautiful, the architecture inside. When you go inside Harmandir Sahib and you look at the walls, when you go to Baba Atal Rai's Bunga in Amritsar and you look at the paintings on the walls, you go to Hazur Sahib, again inside, it's just so much beauty. You look at our Shastra, you know, dripped out in gold and silver, with all of these patterns on them. You look at the handwritten saroops of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, you know, written way better than a printing press, you know, with so much love, so much devotion. And this is something that we can all learn from. It goes to the sharda that you have for your Guru, having a creative win. And this could be anything. It could be learning how to play a musical instrument, taking it back a few hundred years when Tanti Saj, stringed instruments, were essentially how Kirtan was done. Taking part in a class, learning how to play. Taking part in calligraphy. Something that I actually tried to do while I was at uni was write my own Gurkha. I'm still doing it, I'm still in the process, but it taught me, you know, to actually appreciate every single letter that is within the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, and again increasing my devotion for the Guru. Or you could look at doing a seva project, something to help push the Panth forward. You've got to be able to be creative. Again, this is all going to come down from the previous win, which was your mental win, because you need to be improving what knowledge you have, and this is another way of doing that. We just have to look back at our history and do what the Singhs and Singhaniya were doing previously. Their whole mission was to just keep improving and keep pushing the Panth forward. And the last win is the personal win. Now, a personal win could be anything. It could be skincare, it could be hygiene, dressing smart, taking care of your diet. It's anything that you do to protect your Harmandir, to protect your body. Because your body is what houses the Atma, the Jyot, the spirit of the One. And ultimately, that is what we're connecting to. So taking care of yourself, taking care of your surroundings, your environment, so keeping your house clean, your bedroom clean, it speaks volumes of you and your character. You are a representation of the Guru. Khalsa mero roop hai khas. We are that image of our Guru. So we should look at ourselves and think, okay, my Guru has made me a king. Not just any king, king of kings. So we have to maintain that image that the Guru gave us. And therefore we need to take care of ourselves. So those are the 5 wins that I feel like every Singhani should be implementing into their lives. And it's something that you can track. Again, where we spoke about habits is as easy as just opening up your notes app, putting the date down and write down, have I done my spiritual win today? Have I done my physical win today? My mental win, my creative win, and my personal win. And that way you're able to track how often you're doing it. Again, improve yourself every single day for the Guru, for the Panth. You just have to remember that you're not doing anything for yourself. You're doing it for the Guru Khalsa Panth. It becomes bigger than just doing it for you. And remember that Khalsa always grows through quality, not quantity. Again, look back at our history. At some points there were only a handful of really high quality Singhs who were the reason why the Panth continued to flourish. We've never had numbers, and it's not about numbers for us. It's always about doing the right thing. And for all of us, we want the Panth to progress. We want the Khalsa Panth to be at the forefront because of what it promotes. It promotes deg and teg, food and protection for all. It provides safety for all, education for all, equality in man and woman. So in order for us to be able to push this forward, you need to be able to make that change in yourself and therefore improve the quality of the Panth as a collective. So again, thank you all for watching and listening to me, and please do leave a comment below of what you think of the video and what else you guys want to see, and I'll catch you in the next one. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.